you're saying it puts you at a disadvantage, and therefore you're entitled to rely on his paying the rent through the remainder of the notice.
Correct.
You think that that's right, Mr. Lauria?
Instead of giving me 30-day notice, she gave me 60. That means it gave me more time to look for a place to rent, make a better decision.
That's an important point.
All right.
You're right. If you were entitled to 60 days, then maybe we shouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt for the unused portion of the rent. It's an interesting argument. I'll discuss it with my colleagues.
So you said you moved in, Mr. Lauria, August 12th?
Yeah, well, that's when I paid the prorated rent. I think it was actually the next day I started moving.
Because the term starts per the lease September 1st, so you wouldn't have been there over a year.
I moved in 2 weeks before September 1st.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Fenner's not reputable.
He's not reputable?
He's not reputable.
Why do you say that?
He's dishonest. It says right in the lease, $774. If you want,
Well, I don't think it's a matter of being dishonest. I think it's just a matter of just reading this differently. What about the utilities? How much was that, Mr. Fritz?
It was approximately $75, Your Honor.
So the majority of his deposit went towards rent.
There was a broken bed, Your Honor. There was the utility bill itself, which their text messages show that I mentioned it to him, and he
a broken bed.
Take it out of my deposit.
Did you provide the bed? Was this a furnished room?
Yes.
Oh, do you have proof of this broken bed?
Yes.
And
in
repairs?
fact, he was the one that told me about it.
yeah, it was steel frame, bed frame.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was cracking. And I showed him. He said, let's bend it back. I go, no, just showing you that, it just broke. Prior to me living there, he even had a roommate that was even fatter than me. So it wasn't all me, I was there to sleep. I wasn't doing acrobatics in my bedroom.
Do you acknowledge breaking the bed?
I honestly don't know. It might have been there the whole time. It was like on the corner. The steel was starting to split. Starting to bend, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Michael.
Mr. Fritz, did you give the plaintiff a itemized list of the deductions you were making from a security deposit, a written copy?
I wanted to, Your Honor, but he left no forwarding address. When I sent him text messages saying, where would you like to send the final statement, he responded with a question mark. That's in your evidentiary packages. I understand from going to small claims court in San Diego that probably the way to have done it would have been to send it to myself.
Yes.
Because I didn't know that.
But it is an error. And do you agree that because he was your tenant for more than a year, that you were required by California law also to give him 60-day notice as opposed to 30 days?
Except for a month-to-month tenancy, when the resident is living with the tenant in the same house.
I know, but the law requires a written notice.
Correct, which I gave him.
Of 30 days rather than 60.
I gave him a 30, but I disagree with the 60 days, but I understand that you're in charge of this.
You own this home, is that correct?
Yes, I do.
And you were living in it with him?
Yes.
So you would qualify as a landlord who lives in the rental home with his tenant?
Correct.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No.
What do you want to say, Mr. Lauria, in conclusion?
He's not telling everything. I'm sorry.
That's all right. All right. Okay, thank you both very much. We're going to
You're welcome.
use the part.
We have deliberated, reviewed the evidence, and reached a verdict. It is not unanimous. So the one thing that we all did agree on is the fact that the 30-day notice was appropriate, both under the terms of the lease and under California law. Where we disagreed was the effect of that 30-day notice on your obligation to pay rent, Mr. Lauria. Judge Corriero believes you should not have to pay rent for the latter portion of the last 30 days during which you were not on the premises. In other words, that you can elect to leave early and therefore are only responsible for a partial month of rent. Judge Tuwelda and I disagreed. We believe that when you get a 30-day notice, that is notice that the tenancy is going to last another 30 days. And if you vacate early, but you're still on the hook for the month's rent. So that ended up determining our decision today. And when we disagree, majority rules. And because we believe that rent was still owed for the rest of the month, you're not entitled to recoup your security deposit. So Judge Corriero would have given you back $530 of your security deposit, which is the $600 minus the utilities, but he would not have awarded double damages under the circumstances, which is reserved for situations where there's bad faith. So judgment is that the plaintiff's claim is dismissed, and we wish you both the best.